Good morning, everybody. My name is Bailey Cooper, and I would like to welcome you to Eric Lofholm's daily 15-minute motivational call, which is better than a cup of coffee. And I'd like to thank Thomas Parkinson and Eric Lofholm for allowing me this opportunity to lead today's call. And today is Monday, April 3rd, and it's the first business day of the second quarter. So whether or not you hit your goals or your target for quarter one, it's gone, it's behind you, and you got to move on. And things that I like to do when I start a new quarter is to look back and see which goals I completed and pat myself on the back, and then see which goals I did not complete and see how quickly I can get those completed by moving them as a priority to my 90-day blitz document. And a 90-day blitz document is something that's pretty simple. You just list out your goals, the deliverables that when completed will provide the most value for you and create the most revenue for you in your life, and positive implications of completing those. And I share it with a mastermind partner, and it helps hold me accountable. So that's just kind of a side note. What I want to talk to you guys today about is keys to negotiating excellence. And as salespeople, we're always striving for one tip that will help us gain that edge in persuasion. To make the most money in sales, one has to be really adept at handling objections. And our mentor, Eric Lofholm, says that objection handling is the elegant dance. It's the art of playing the game of hot potato, of handling the objection, of overcoming it, asking for the order and being silent, and, eventually guiding and leading the prospect to move forward. And so, as a negotiator, our job is not to do the impossible, but it's to make the possible probable. So to be effective, you must understand and apply the key principles of negotiating. Even though there's no guarantee of success, I think that just having a grasp of negotiating is, very important to success, because most people in closing just wing it. They just, and I've shadowed hundreds of people in the closing process, and what is very common is that the order is asked for, and if the answer no is given, or if I need to think about it is given, oftentimes we just leave the proposal behind and leave a business card and expect them to call us. In my experience, the biggest accounts that I've ever gotten, or the best customers that I've ever gotten, came from following up 4 and 5 and 6 times, where the prospect emails me back and says, "Hey, thanks for following up with me. I really I appreciate that. I've been really busy." Will Couts shared on this call a while back that his largest account came from following up with a prospect for over a year. And so you never know what they're going through or what their busy life is. So the term to me, follow up until they buy or die, means until that prospect says, "Leave me alone, don't call me again," just keep following up with them, because more than likely they will respect that. So one key to being practical in negotiating is seeking information. So the salesperson's role is to influence the situation so that the buyer feels like it's a win. So we need to identify the key information that will help them by purchasing this product or service from us. So when we go through our sales mountain, you want to identify the key things that will make them, that will benefit them. So when you are identifying your customer needs, ask several probing questions to get to the heart of their perceived or their actual needs, and get them to talk about the reason that they're interested in having you there today. And when you figure that out, use that in your closing process to overcome any objections that they may have to get back to the real reason why they want to purchase your product or service. Another, I think, important differentiator between successful closers and unsuccessful closers is rehearsing. Rehearsing the close over and over again. Eric asks us to record ourselves closing, to play it back in our car, to take a spouse or significant other and practice with them. I think rehearsing, what it does is we can anticipate many predictable responses, obstacles, or objections, and we can prepare those responses in advance. So Thomas Edison told us that genius is 10% inspiration and 90% perspiration. So preparation and rehearsal is the perspiration of negotiating genius, okay? So the third key for negotiating is to reinforce continually. Reinforcement builds the type of confidence that you want in the other party. So one way to guide a person towards this confidence is to let him reinforce what you are saying. Try to end your statements with a question that requires reinforcement, and such as, "That's clear, isn't it? Doesn't that make sense? Don't you agree?" And doing this, you will help this prospect ease their fears and start to develop a strong trust in you being the one that delivers what they want to feel better about. Because at the end of the day, that's what sales is. Our job as sales professionals is to make the prospect feel better. You know, everybody's searching to change the way they feel, and buying this product or service from you is going to give them a desired result. You know, they feel a certain way and they want to feel another way. So when you reinforce this, you're helping them believe that it's going to do that for them. So here's a few key points to remember. Arguing creates defensiveness that works against you. So if you ever find yourself disagreeing or the prospect disagreeing with you, you want to be really disciplined and avoid this confrontation. Don't interrupt ever, or try not to correct the prospect. Instead, just remain cool and thoughtful, and try to instead define the areas where you're in agreement, okay? So don't focus on the negative and where you're in disagreement. Just remain pleasant no matter how nasty the situation gets, and try to find a common ground. The next key to help you in closing is ignore the customer's style and ignore their personality, because sometimes that can distract you. And I know I've been in the same boat. Just intently listen to what is actually being said, and focus on problem and solution mentality. So find their problem, ask the right questions, and then maybe give them a response. Let's solve this problem by this suggestion, and suggestively deliver solutions to the prospect so that they actually agree with you that it's a good idea. People buy if you give them a reason to buy. So what happens in the process is people are going to ask for more information because maybe they don't see a reason to buy. And it's really important to pick up on this. Pick up on the questions that they ask you and when they ask you those questions. And what that may tell you is that you didn't deliver the benefit that hits their needs better. So as you deliver more presentations, you can reverse engineer your process so that you layer your needs analysis and sharing of the benefits more eloquently to where you tap a more broader range of the prospect that you're hitting. What I do that helps me the most is I prepare in advance for my presentation. I look them up on LinkedIn, on Google, and I try and find things that I can relate to, and I even ask questions in advance before my meeting. I want to find out if there's any specific needs that they want addressed during that meeting so that I can do my research. And this helps me in the closing process because I can do my homework and I can get well prepared in advance. So just go out and make this second quarter the best quarter by not beating yourself up. Go back and look at which goals and deliverables you didn't complete from your first quarter. Place them on the top of your list for the second quarter, and really focus on getting your script memorized and mastered. And I strongly encourage every one of you to record your presentation and, most importantly, your close. Write it down on a piece of paper. What I do when I train a new hire to market or to sell, for me, is I give them a script, and I tap into the auditory learner, the kinesthetic learner, and the visual learner by a combination of writing and role-playing. So what we do is we'll write the script 10 times, and then we'll role-play the script 10 times, and then I'll get them to write the script without looking, and then we'll role-play without looking. And this has been the most effective technique for me, is, you know, just getting them to own their script. And that last script, when they write it without looking, that's what they generally pitch at the door. So that's what I want them to focus on, is being themselves, being relaxed, but knowing the information in the sequence that it's delivered in. So I strongly encourage you to do the same. Write out your presentation on hand rather than on the computer, and then role play that, and then record yourself delivering it so that you can see how you sound to the prospect. So appreciate this opportunity to share these keys to negotiating excellence, and let's go out here and make today the best day possible. So thank you so much for the opportunity to share this message, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.